Good morning and welcome to my blog, Wisdom for Today. It is a beautiful day here in Enfield, Connecticut. We've had a couple of days of rain, which is always well appreciated for our gardens and everything else that the rain is needed for. And our winter wasn't that cold and long, and yet the coming of spring always announces new life. The sky was so blue, and I walked out into a symphony of chattering birds, as almost as if they felt they were the first birds on the universe to scream out their song saying, I am here and I'm ready for life. I love the symbolism of spring, of everything coming to life again after a cold winter. I love that song, Great is Thy Faithfulness, because it talks about the faithfulness of God. And in that hymn, if you know the hymn, it talks about the seasons of life and also the seasons in our earth, from winter to spring to summer to fall. And it reminds us of God's great faithfulness. It's taken from a passage in Lamentations chapter 3. And Jeremiah is alone in Jerusalem. And they've taken all the young men and all the strapping, intelligent people, and they've only left the old and the sick and dying, and Jeremiah is among them. And in Jeremiah 3, all he seems to do is complain because he thinks he's going to die, and he thinks that everything is nothingness, everything is emptiness. Vanity, vanity, that's emptiness, emptiness, everything's emptiness. But then he says, Yet this I call to mind, therefore, and I have hope. That wonderful word, hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fall. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. I say to myself, the Lord is my portion, and therefore I will wait for him. So what does it mean that God's mercies are new every morning? Well, it means that in God's mercies, that every new day is a new opportunity, a new fresh beginning. Our God is the God of second chances. Someone wrote on their timeline in my Facebook friends that I wish I could go back to a time before it was too late. And I replied to them, it's never too late. As long as you have breath in your lungs, in fact, even on your deathbed, it's never too late for you to turn yourself to God and say, God, make something good out of the bad things that have happened to me. His mercies are new every morning because they're a new chance to surrender old wounds to God. So when the past comes back and haunts us, as it often does, in anger or in pain, we can surrender those to God and ask him to make a greater good out of them, and ask for his continued healing and guidance, and that even our mistakes and our rebellions, that he can turn around as he promised in Romans 8:28, that God works all things together for good, for those who are called according to his purposes. And Romans 8:28 is written right after the previous verses talk about the Holy Spirit's praying for us. So we're not alone in our mistakes. Jesus is interceding for us and is our advocate at the throne of God the Father, and the Holy Spirit intercedes for us when we don't even know how to pray for ourselves. And God's mercies are new every morning, remind us that indeed, that our troubles will not consume us. They're not going to overwhelm us. You know, this morning when I was walking to my car, I saw two robins, and they were collecting sticks for a nest. And one of the robins, a red-breasted robin, only had one leg. I don't know why it just had one leg, but it was hopping around doing the job that God had given it to do. It wasn't sitting down and dying, and it seemed quite self-sufficient, because that robin knew that it had a purpose, and the purpose was to build a nest. We too have purposes. And you may just be hopping around on one leg right now, and we all go through those seasons, or you may have both legs and you're strong and you're doing the best you can. In either case, know that God's mercies are new every morning. There's nothing anyone else can do or you can do that can thwart God's purposes. Nothing is beyond his redemption. I hope to see you this Sunday in church. God's blessings and have a wonderful day.